Hey everybody, Wayne here, AK Squirrel Madness Comics, back with another unboxing. Some CGC stuff that's returned to me. To be honest with you, it is stuff that I have had here for a while. I have 5 books to the side, which I've unboxed well over a month ago that I did not record. And I've got another box here I haven't opened yet, which is 23 more books, which I know what the grades are. That's why I haven't bothered unboxing it, because it's kind of been disappointing to a degree, but I knew in the months I've been waiting for them that the grades were not going to be what I initially thought they'd be when I sent them out the door. So you know, that's life. So I wanted to just share what I had with you now, and talk a little bit about the grades and kind of the issues going on with them, which I've touched on in my previous unboxing videos. So first things first, the first 5 books here are books that I thought the grades would be higher on. Hence, I actually did something I'd never done before, which was I paid to have a custom CGC labels on them. And in retrospect, that ended up being kind of pointless in a way. It was an extra money that I didn't need to spend given the grades I ended up getting with them. They're certainly not as high as I thought they would be. The other thing is, I actually did not realize at the time when I was doing it that they split them out in a separate order, hence ends up being a separate ship back to you via FedEx, which is excessively more expensive, especially in Canada. So I will never do custom labels again unless I'm doing an entire large order of custom labels, and even then I doubt I don't see the benefit really in it. I thought they'd look nice, and they look nice, but I don't see there's any really great benefit to them. So anyway, here's the books, and you'll see kind of why I chose them, especially with this first book. I thought it'd be a really nice tie-in. Spider-Man #1, Miles Morales. It's the hip-hop variant edition. It came back as a 9.0. I actually thought this was going to be a 9.6 or a 9.8. And it's the case with these, and well, with those down here as well. One issue was my pressing really screwed this up. So I'm considering potentially down the road cracking it and trying it again, but I will discuss that in a little bit. Next up is X-Men Annual 14, which is the first cameo of Gambit, or first appearance of Gambit, depends on how you want to view it. It came back at a lowly 7.0. I really thought this was going to be like a 9.2 or something. There apparently are a couple stress lines on the spine that I didn't notice. One of the biggest issues with this, other than my pressing problem, is the fact that I put some fingerprints on the black, because it's a black cover, both sides. There's fingerprints on it, and the fingerprints are a problem. Clearly, I didn't wipe it down again nicely enough after the fact, so that one's on me. The next 3 books are the same book. Wolverine #8, the famous Patch and Mr. or Joe Fixit cover from Wolverine. Since you know what they are, it's a matter of the grades. 8.5, 9, 9. 2 of these, I am absolutely sure, and against, for the record, I chose the Wolverine custom label. All of these and those canvassing cover, because I was pressing using these Teflon sheets. I'd been using them for too long. And if you use them for too long, perhaps I also dialed it to be a little tighter than it should have been. The sort of the wafer pattern that's on the Teflon got impressed into the cover, leaving it a canvassing cover. Now, the reason this is a big issue is when I actually look at the grader's notes for these books, especially the Wolverine. This one, the 8.5, does have a little issue with it beyond it. But the 2 9.0s, the only note on them is that it says canvassing cover. I thought these were 9.8s. So I apparently dropped from a 9.8 to a 9.0 with the only noticeable issue being canvassing cover. So if I can figure out how to get that out, I'm going to crack these babies and I'm going to press them and I'm going to get them back into CGC and see if I can bump that grade up, because they are, there's nothing wrong with them other than that issue. So that's incredibly frustrating. And which brings us on to the subject of the big box, which is basically same thing. A lot of modern book, not modern, Copper Age and modern, maybe some bronze, but mostly Copper Age and modern. And again, a lot of these books I sent in with the expectation they were going to be a 9.8, worst case 9.6, but definitely 9.8. Hence, I would not have sent them in if I thought some of the grades weren't going to be what they ended up being, because then at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Because if they come back like a 9.0, you know, the value is not there anymore. It's not even worth the cost of getting it done. So again, I made the mistake of pressing in defect. In fact, if I had not bothered pressing these books, I actually would have got a higher grade than if I hadn't pressed them at all. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, 23 books, oh, man, is a much bigger box. So anyway, big box. So these have actually been sitting in my other bedroom for where a lot of my comics are. They've been there for, you know, at least a month, probably over a month. I haven't bothered opening it. I haven't been excited. What's the point? I know it sounds like sour grapes. I really don't mean to sound like sour grapes. I just, you know, you put a lot of effort into cleaning and pressing, and you have a certain expectation, right? And some of these books I've had for a while wanting to get done, a couple of years. And I really had really high hopes for them. And, you know, when it comes back not the way you want, it's really bummed me out. So anyway, yeah, so I do sound sad. I don't mean to sound sad. I mean, I'm happy I've got books, they're graded, la la la. I should be happier, I know. Anyway, I don't know what order these are in, so let's find out. I think this is the biggest box I've actually ever had them return. I think the most I've ever had in a box is maybe 20. So I think this is the first time I've ever cracked the 20. Well, at least I got a lot of bubble wrap I can use when I'm selling books, so that's good. All right, let's see what order these are in. I've got them backwards. Hopefully these are now in alphabetical order. So let's okay, here we go. This one I actually thought was a 9.0, and I don't remember because it's been a month since I've looked at the graders notes on these. So some of these I think are just an issue with canvassing cover. Some might have some mild issues beyond that, but Chuck Norris, Karate Commandos 1 came back as a 9.2. White pages, so that's pretty cool. These next two are big boy books, and again, I'm going to look at the notes, and if I can, I've got about 60 other books, just for the record. I've got 60 other books that I've pressed in the error issue with the canvassing cover, but never made it to CGC. So now I've got to learn to try to get those back out with an entirely new pressing process. So I've got to really sit down and figure that out, because I've been kind of bummed out and haven't done it. Anyway. Underrated key, undervalued key, in my opinion. DC Comics presents 26, first appearance of the new Teen Titans, which would mean first appearance of Starfire, Raven, and of course Cyborg. I have an 8.5. And I have one that I knew was in lesser quality condition. I have as a 7.5. I should really just take these out of the plastic. That would make it easier, wouldn't it? I also have DC Comics Presents number 47, which is the first Masters of the Universe in comics. I have another one that's a 9.6. This I knew was in worse condition, so this is a 7.0. Again, I think these are all white pages so far, which is awesome. Again, I'll have to see if I want to press out any issues with that and try again. This one I thought was a better situation than I ended up getting, but you know, Firestorm 3, from the first run of Firestorm, first appearance of Killer Frost, 90 white pages. Again, another book that, you know, I'm going to not repeat myself and say these all should have been better grades, but Ghostwriter Volume 2, Number 1, 9-2. So that's first appearance of, Dan Ketch version of Ghostwriter. 9-2. Number 28, first part of the Midnight Suns storyline run, also in a 9-2. I have about, I don't know, 12 copies of this waiting to go. They've all been pressed, so I have to repress them. This one I just threw in because I love the cover. G.I. Joe number 85 in a 9-0. It's just a dope cover, so... Again, if it come back at a higher grade, it would have had a little more value to it, but, you know. The next set of books are all the same book, and I all thought the majority of them were going to be 9-8. It did not work out that way, but again, I'll see if any of them can be repressed. So they're all going to be Hawk and Dove, miniseries number 1. So, sorry, my glare of my lights and whatnot. It's a little glary in here today, so I do apologize. 9-2. Sorry about that. I thought, man. There's a lot of like bags and boards just between things in here. So 9-0. The order of these seems to be not quite where I had it, because I swore I had more copies of that, unless I didn't send as many in as I thought. This is the thing about not editing your videos. I'm just doing this live, so, you know. A lot of bags, a lot of boards, so I gotta get a lot of stuff sort of cleaned up. This one actually was okay. This one came back really well. I was really actually happy with this one. A ROM 1. This was the newsstand variant, which was nice. And it came back as 9-6 white pages. I bought this and sent this in when there was talk about the ROM license being kind of picked up and maybe developing more toys, and that I think is gone by the wayside. So the hope of what ROM would be ended up not being what it could be, but that is what it is, right? This is topical. New Avengers number 7, first appearance of the Illuminati in a 9-4. It's come back, so a little too late for me to jump on any bandwagons, but you know, there you go. This is a book I picked up at a show, like a flea market-y type thing up in Barrie. Again, I think this could be a better grade. I think I'm going to see if I can get this cleaned up and sent back out again. But Incredible Hulk 449, first appearance of the Thunderbolts in an A5 white pages. So, yeah, this is a big box. Okay. Oh, another Hawk and Dove. See, they were not quite in the order packed as I originally sent them in. So 9-4. I think, again, if that's just a canvassing issue, I think I can get that pressed out and get it back to a 9-8. 9-2. And a 9-4. Boy, this glare is terrible. I really don't have the best setup for videos, as you can tell. All right, what do we got here? 1, 2, we got 5 more books. Oh, look, it's Hawk and Dove. Surprise, surprise. 9-4. I think these 9-4s, I think they're just canvassing. I think I can get them to a 9-8. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you apprised of my journey. Oh, this was a cool pickup I got. Came back probably considering the issues I've been having better than it probably should be, because I did notice some issues with the spine, but this has a potential book to be like a major book in the future of comics, just because of all the first appearances. Young Avengers 1 in a 9-2. And so far everything is white pages. It's new enough. Hopefully the white pages. That would be bad if I got like brittle or cream or anything like that. Another one I put in because I had a couple of them. I don't know if I put both in or just the one. Superman Man of Steel 18, first appearance of Doomsday. Comes back in a 9-4. My pile's getting high. It's gonna like Jenga. It's gonna fall over soon. This is very topical, actually. I got this, I think, at the same place I got the ROM. And the grade is not as good as I would like, but I will take it. Especially today, I'm filming this on May the 4th. So Star Wars #2 in a 7.5. This one's off white to white pages. By the way, I knew it had some issues anyway. I cleaned and pressed it as best I could, but you know, that's okay. It's got a lot of first appearances. I think it's the first of Obi-Wan Kenobi, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't actually mention the first appearances on the cover, but I believe it's the first Obi-Wan Kenobi, and there's one or two other potential. Maybe it's the Han Solo and Chewbacca as well, first appearances. And I only have one more book left. What will it be? Oh, okay. So it's the other ROM. I knew I had two ROMs, and I wasn't sure if the other one had made it in. So white pages, ROM 1. This is the direct edition, or actually, I think it's the Whitman variant. Anyway, sorry, I digress. 9.0 white pages. So yeah, that is everything. That is the unboxing I've been sitting here not doing for a month. So now it's done, everything's out. I've got to get my act together and start pressing, cleaning books again. I've got a bunch that I've got a ton that need to be done that I want to send in. And so I think my next is to start doing a little more research on alternate ways to do some pressing. I'm moving away from Teflon. I'll do a separate video talking about this actually. But I've moved away from Teflon. I'm moving to parchment paper, mixing parchment paper with magazine style sized comic boards. And I'm going to start playing around with some of the temperatures and pressure as well. I mean, I've had good experiences in the past. I've had some great pressing and cleaning results. It's just recently with reusing the Teflon too much that I've caused these issues. So I'm going to talk more about that in another video. I probably bored you to death complaining about it here. I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Hope you guys are doing well. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you did. And give me a like for the video if you liked it. I appreciate the support of the people who've been following me and watching my videos and encouraging me to continue to do videos. It does mean a lot to me. I know I haven't done a lot lately, but you know, life's like that sometimes. So anyway, this is getting really long, so I'm gonna go. Thank you very much. Take care, and we'll see you soon.